Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. I'm tired. My eyes hurt. But with these glasses on, you know what I can see? Right from wrong. The administration is asking us to remember what started all this chaos in Minnesota. Fraud. ICE is in Minnesota to investigate fraud. These are investigators. Fraud discovered years ago. Fraud already prosecuted by the federal government in 2022. That's the only fraud that we know about, the Feeding Our Future scam, and it was massive, $250 million of taxpayers' money stolen, all right under Governor Tim Walz's nose. We have someone on tonight who worked in the government there and saw this coming and warned to no avail. But the idea that ICE is there to finish the job by rooting out the Somalians who are behind it, I think is BS. I think the idea that Nick Shirley showed that Somalians were behind it is nonsense. I think that the idea that the local media was ignoring fraud to help the left is demonstrably false. The New York Times even published a massive piece a month before Nick Shirley's video titled "How Fraud Swamped Minnesota on Tim Walz's Watch." So why all the excitement? You know why. It's selective outrage. It is right versus left. It's not about right and wrong, because if it were, then you would care about it no matter where it is, no matter what side it's on, right? If you were focused on right and wrong, you would realize that just because Nick Shirley wasn't let into a daycare center, which has minors in it, doesn't mean there was fraud there. Many of the places he went to have been investigated and inspected. Trump's own U.S. attorney said it was not a Somalian, but a white lady, her, who was the mastermind behind the massive fraud they prosecuted. You hadn't heard that, had you? Now, to me, fraud is fraud. It doesn't matter if Somalians are involved. And there are fraud cases in most states, red and blue. Fraud's not exactly uncommon. 3 of the 10 largest COVID fraud scams took place in Texas alone. But this is about advantage. That's all it's about, which is why one side is only interested in the foibles of the other side, never its own, even when there's more of what outrages them on their own side. For example, there are legitimate questions about Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth, how it went from being in the red to now being in the millions, if not tens of millions of dollars. How is this possible? The easy answer is her husband made money. But how? Her husband's venture capital firm on her financial disclosure form was worth about $1,000 a couple of years ago, and now it's up to $25 million. How? It's reportedly operated out of a WeWork, by the way. The company recently deleted the names of officers and advisors from its website, including former Senator Max Baucus, who said he only had one phone call with the company and never agreed to be listed as an advisor. He called what happened fishy. Omar also lists her husband's wine company, which was worth between 15 and 50 grand in 2023, yet today it's worth between $1 and $5 million. How? One investor sued her husband, claiming he swindled him out of $900,000. The husband denies any wrongdoing. But there are legitimate questions, right? Her husband and his attorneys, they deny ripping anybody off. My problem is the selective outrage. It's not about right and wrong. It's about right and left. And as long as we continue this way, things will only get worse. Okay? Look, what is unknown about Omar is nothing compared to what we know about the unprecedented fortunes of the Trump family out of the work of this administration. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Conflicts of multiple members of the administration with private detention businesses. The pardons alone. The use of Qatar instead of American banks. Zero outrage. Zero curiosity. Either it is wrong everywhere or nowhere. Either you care about corruption everywhere or you don't care about it. All you care about is advantage. Do the facts suggest that ICE went heavy and hard into Minnesota to root out fraud, or to pick a fight with the left on an issue where they thought they had high ground? And they did have high ground until ICE became chaos agents and citizens paid the price. But the high ground, therefore, was lost because the administration refuses to see what was wrong, chose to spin false narratives. If you needed any more proof that this is not about right and wrong, look at the reaction to the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Now it was Preddy's fault, too, that he's dead. For carrying a gun, the irony, the hypocrisy. For interfering with ICE operations, the operations the majority of this country believes are unjust. Selective outrage at best, partisan poison in the main. So you want to talk about what and who is worth chasing in Minnesota? Let's get after it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.